Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom from SBR Picks. The next round of the Champions League matches are in the bag. Which teams lived up to expectation? Which team's performance may have spelled the end of their Champions League campaign? And which teams did surprise us? Here now to answer these questions and more is today's guest, Lee Phelps, host for William Hill's Inplay Radio. Lee, thanks for being here today.
No problem. Just seeing Liverpool humbled by Real Madrid.
I know. But listen, that's for me. I have to say though, the shocker I think for this round was the 7-1 defeat Roma faced playing Bayern Munich on their home turf. In my earlier preview, my guest went with the draw and the under 2.5 goals. So very far from actually what happened. What went wrong for Roma or right for Bayern Munich?
I think Roma were a little naive. I think they tried to play Bayern Munich. They were very confident, of course. Roma had been playing exceptional football in Serie A. But I think, we spoke, I don't know if you remember, we spoke before the season about which countries would do well in the Champions League. And I was really against Italy because there's a chasm between the quality in the Premier League and the Bundesliga and La Liga to Serie A. You just look at how much money spent in each division. So I wasn't surprised they lost. I was surprised at how many goals they scored in the first half and how many they conceded. It reminded me a little bit of the way Germany dismantled Brazil. Once they cracked, they were cracked everywhere, it seemed, every time Bayern went forward. So it's never a surprise when Bayern Munich do that to someone. Remember what they did to Barcelona, 7-0 on aggregate over 2 legs last season. People were shocked by that. If you give this Bayern Munich team chances and space, they get confident. And when they get confident, they just don't let up. They just keep going. They won't just win 3-0. They'll just go for it. So, that's what can happen to any team in this competition. And, I remember tipping them up before the tournament and remembering that 7-0, thinking that they would be a good bet. And they're looking even better bet now, don't they?
Yeah, well, that's it. Bayern's performance has only confirmed to me that they will win the title. And they're priced 4.5 to do so. Would you play that bet?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I liked them before the tournament. I still like them now. Obviously, on any given day, when you get to the semi-final stages or even the quarter-finals, if you get a bad draw, but mainly the semi-finals, you can come up on. You can have a bad day. The team you're playing could have a sensational day. You might come up against an ultra-defensive team. And let's be fair about it. Manchester City nearly got a 0-0 in Germany and could have nicked a goal and got a 1-0 win. So it's not like they're pulverising everyone. Yeah. And Man City haven't been the best team. So there are chances for other teams, but I think all round, I think the desire for them to win it, and the manager in charge there now has the experience as well. So they just edge Real Madrid for me, but only just.
Yeah. Well, interestingly, Roma have gone from third favourite to qualify from Group E, priced 2.05, now second favourite to qualify with Bayern Munich, and that's priced 1.95, whilst Manchester City, who suffered a disappointing 2-2 draw at Moscow, have slipped to third favourite, now priced at 2. Who out of Roma and Manchester City would get your bet?
I'd go with Manchester City now, just because of the remaining fixtures. I think that might have hurt Roma so much that they might find it difficult to recover from that. That's a massive blow to your confidence, losing that heavily. They've got to play them again, of course, Bayern Munich, this time in Germany. And I know Manchester City have also got to play Bayern Munich, but the way the table is at the moment, if Roma lose to Bayern in Germany and Man City beat Moscow in Manchester, as they expect them to do, suddenly Manchester City will be above them in the table. So that's why I'm liking City.
But what does Manchester City's performance against Moscow say to you about Manchester City? They had the lead at half-time and then they seemed to just let that slip. What happened? And are you from their performance, you're still confident that they could qualify with Bayern Munich?
I think City just found it too easy against CSKA Moscow at 2-0 up, and they relaxed too much and let them back in the game. They should have done what Bayern Munich did. Go for more goals and more goals and more goals. And hopefully, I think they will have learned from that and they won't let that happen again.
Okay. Well, a British team for me that shone these round of games was Chelsea with their 6-0 victory over Maribor. They're currently joint third favourites now to win the title, and that's priced at 7. Can they do it?
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll have too much of an eye on the Premier League. And it's such a difficult league to win the Premier League that I think that'll take more of their attention. And as I've said a few times, I think that's Jose Mourinho's goal, to win the Premier League first and foremost. I don't think they're quite there. And I think because of the strenuous games they'll have in the Premier League, I think that'll cost them a little bit. But I think they'll be the furthest English team, though. I think that's a good bet.
Yeah. I was going to lead me to my next point here. They're currently priced 1.53 to be the British team that progresses the furthest. I think that sounds very fair. Liverpool are second favourites, and that's priced at 2.42. And I think considering Liverpool's form against Real Madrid, I really, that puts Chelsea for me in the forefront. And 1.53 is just about enough, I think. Just about enough value there to make that bet. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree, and they're going to finish top of their group, aren't they? So they'll have an easier, you would think anyway, an easier game in the next round. So even if Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal qualify, they're probably going to qualify in second place now. So it always means a tougher draw because of the home and away advantage. So that looks a great bet, Chelsea. I mean, you could find that there's only Chelsea into the quarterfinals at this rate.
Yeah. Well, another team I thought who shone was Borussia Dortmund. They are having a tough time in the in the Bundesliga. They're down in 14th spot, but their manager did say that they were focusing on the Champions League this year, and that seems to be the case as they walk away with a 4-0 victory, playing Galatasaray at home. They're favourites to win the group. How far do you think they can make it?
I think they're a possible quarter-final team who go out of the quarter-finals. I don't think they're as good as they were in previous years. I think they've lost players and not replaced them with the same sort of quality. I've said this time and time again. Galatasaray can be good on their night. They were poor tonight, but Borussia can score goals. We saw them pulverise Arsenal. Just don't know if you can switch form on and off just because it's the Champions League and not the Bundesliga. That worries me a little bit. I'd rather back a team who are going for it on all fronts, who are confident every single week. What if they don't quite reach the levels because they had a bit of an off week in the Bundesliga? It might shock a few people, but I'm going to say they go out at the quarter-final stages.
Were there any other teams here that shone for you over these matches?
There were a few. I mean, there's been some amazing results. Shakhtar Donetsk's result was, I don't know, Bate Borisov aren't the best team in Europe, but what a performance, and what a performance from the striker as well. I mean, he was sensational. Shame he didn't go to Brazil to the World Cup to play for his home nation, but I thought that was a sensational performance. Top scorer in the Champions League now with 6. They were brilliant, Shakhtar, and I think I've been looking at the kind of the teams from Ukraine and from Russia, maybe to break through. There's a spell where they could have broken through into the big time. Zenit's a team that I was disappointed in tonight, to be honest with you. They lost 2-0 at Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen's not doing great in the Bundesliga at the moment, and I really liked Zenit to go quite far in the competition. No, I'm not talking semi-finals, but maybe even quarter-finals. They started out brilliantly. They've got lots of good goal scorers. Hult's been great in the early season. They've just started to go off the boil a little bit in the domestic competition. A couple of draws, not scoring as many goals. That's a worry for me. They need to get back on track. I mean, they've still got games against Bayer Leverkusen at home. It's always a tricky tie. Very, very cold by the time Bayer Leverkusen go to Russia. They've also got a home game against Benfica, who are the whipping boys of the group, and then they go to Monaco, which could be the crucial one. Still a chance for them to win this group, Zenit. So I think Zenit might be worth a look at one of the surprise packages who can maybe get to the quarterfinals, because on their day at home they can beat any team in this competition, and I mean any team. It's a tricky tie to go to Russia, as we all know, and they have got the goal scorers and the style to go and attack teams. It'd have to be a tremendous night for them to beat the likes of Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. I get that, or Barcelona, but anyone maybe from below those kind of 3 teams, they could give a really good game. So disappointed in Zenit tonight, but I'm still holding out some hope for them.
Okay, now obviously Bayern Munich have been the favourites since the lines opened for this competition, but is there any dark horses or someone other than Bayern Munich who could realistically win the title?
I'm not sure. I think it comes from one of the big boys. I mean, and when I say big boys, I think Barcelona and Real Madrid. And I can understand why people might talk about Chelsea. I don't really see, teams like Porto had done pretty well early in the competition. Roma looked all right, but they slip away. To be able to go right through this competition, to keep knocking teams out, I think you have to be special these days. And, I don't see anyone now hitting the kind of form that would take them right through. What you need to do is look at a team over the kind of the Christmas period after the group stages, and then you need to be looking then, I think, early in the new year as to who's hitting form at that time. And if there is a team who's got themselves out of the group stages and into the knockout phase who are going to hit form, then that's the time to be looking for the outsider. I don't see anyone at the moment, Natalie, who could possibly knock Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich out. And Barcelona being the third in that trio, with Suarez coming into the team, of course. So, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then maybe Chelsea next. I would go for, but they look too strong at the moment.
Yeah, certainly do. Lee Phelps, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. Pleasure.
The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.